Hello everyone, we're back again. This might be the last episode actually, or the second last episode. I don't know how long this trial is going to be, but it's the last trial. This is the defendant lobby, alright. There's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Ema for that matter? It almost seems as if she was fucking assassinated by Gant. Who are you? Gant? Something's been happening behind the scenes. Nope. Edward. You were my second guess, I swear. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. What was that? It looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, but not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. It's so romantic. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid! Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? See you in bed, babe! Oh, he's gone. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now. Here we go again! Phoenix always has that dominating stance where he has his hand on the table staring Edgeworth in the eye. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Why are we listening to him? Chief Gant?
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Yudgy, been back to the pool yet?
Why do you keep asking people if they've been swimming?
No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Huh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is this proposal of yours?
Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
Why does she have to ask you? She wants to do what?
Haven't heard what she intends to say. I feel like she should be granted her request.
You're full of shit.
In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
I definitely am not being threatened to say this. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request, and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No! Lana! She's crossing her fingers behind her back, Your Honor. You can't! Your Honor! The defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. You can do that? I suppose that makes sense. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me. But it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. It still makes me laugh even when she's not in the fucking chair. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial.
Object.
Even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening!
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Don't do it. Don't do it. Object. Edgeworth is objecting! One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth!
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature.
Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. But why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut,
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh? To whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Ema Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. Let's fucking go. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant?
He could just say no and then he gets away scot-free.
Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words.
Just make threats. Yeah, just make threats in the middle of a courtroom with everyone watching you. Because you don't look like enough of a villain already. Miss Ema Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by its reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Oddly calming music.
My name is Ema Skye. My occupation? I'm Juana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Mama of the Joe Mama killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then.
You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. What? Are you about to take me on a fucking festive Christmas adventure? The trip to yesteryear has finally begun! It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Here we fucking go, 2 years ago. We in it, boys.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Bill Marshall rescued me. I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. Bullshit, Your Honor!
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. My boyfriend will figure it out for you. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Like, what? You're making him cross-examine a thing from 2 years ago? It just doesn't even make any sense. Alright. I was waiting at my sister's office that day. Oh, really? You're lying, Ema! You're a dirty liar! I don't trust you! I'm sorry, Peter. Shut up! 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
Yes, she was second in command under the
then deputy chief. Oh my god! Then deputy chief of police Gant!
My sister. She was the best detective ever!
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Miss Skye used to be quite pair.
How many times are we going to be told how good of a pair they were? I believe they shared the same office, same bed, same meals, same kisses. That's right.
I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day, too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage.
A man?
Yes, Joe Mama. He was a serial killer.
Joe Mama was brought in for questioning on the day of the ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran to Sky and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
So Gant just definitely just let him go and was like, yeah, go kill this person and let you away scot-free. What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Drake's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. Nope. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Drake.
When Drake grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant.
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Tark. Just then, the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on, and lightning struck nearby. So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then, lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. Hear more, stop. Stop! Shut up! I don't want to hear any more! So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
Ask about the picture. This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added the statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
You wouldn't mind? Okay, I guess we won't.
I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
Nope. I'll press you on the rest of everything. Man held up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest! That must have been a real shock. Shut up, Phoenix.
Even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Mama was holding you hostage.
When the lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Ema doesn't have any reason to lie. But Lana sure does. I need to get Ema to tell me as much about this as she can. I'll press you on this and then I'll object. You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I wanted to do everything I could to help the investigation.
Did they really not have any other paper aside from the back of the fucking evidence list?
I can still see it now.
Whenever I close my eyes, you can see the drawing, or what happened? That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died, yet I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken?
But I did draw it! I swear! I'm not just imagining it!
This picture that Ema drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. This scene that imprinted an image into your mind. Can you please describe it to us? Zip.
The man.
Alright. Go back, go back, go back. Where are you? Where are you? No, that's wrong! Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. You know what? Do you really just need a fucking make her out to be a little child? This little baby girl put all of her heart into drawing that picture with her crayons. Isn't that right, little baby? And yet, you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that as the prosecutor of that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident?
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over. Turn it. Ah! What's this? What a shit drawing!
Yes, what is that? Is that supposed to be two people? What a dreadful fucking image!
Hey, that's it! That's the picture I drew!
Nice boots, I never noticed them before.
Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here.
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list?
Me?
Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Oh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one.
You can tell because they were ripped apart and it made a completely clean line.
You can see the marks here, where they were torn apart from each other, see?
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What?! Seriously, those are some sick boots.
Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? And why is it such an ugly picture?
Because that's what Detective Goodman had of me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you all right, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
Sorry, Your Honor. That would be the crack that I took before coming in here. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of this drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list!
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see.
God, that's good! Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing! Good Lord. It was in the window, was it? Oh, Jesus. Oh, God. I knew it was gonna come in. I knew it was gonna come in.
That's that thing! That thing that was dancing in the evidence room!
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence is restored and updated in the court record. Wow! I mean, just say that you drew it, Ema.
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. What's wrong with Ema?
She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture. The fact that you couldn't see anyone's face, perhaps? Because it was a silhouette, because there was a lightning strike, and because Damon Gatt was the one stabbing the other person.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago.
This is also a very blunt object, which could perhaps be... It's not there. It's not there. It's not here. No, it's here. It could be this. Like, it looks similar enough shape to this.
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image into your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Mama about to murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
You are so wrong, Your Honor. It's fucking insane. You've never been this wrong before.
This clearly shows it. Look, you can see that's the shape of his body. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Save your little comments to yourself, Your Honor. Alright, Emus picture. I'm going. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should have still been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
Oh, oops. So, at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, I was knocked out to the floor. Or knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Drake had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Ema. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. Do you mean you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's good that you didn't have to get fucking scarred for life by seeing a murder happen. The flash of lightning only drove out the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? Edgeworth, fuck off! What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here!
Anyway, this picture. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course! This is the exact scene!
It wasn't influenced in any way by your talks with the detectives? Aren't you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? Are you Detective Edgeworth? No, of course not! Better watch out, or we may find some way to cut my salary. Jesus Christ. You don't have a salary, Phoenix.
I drew this before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well, yes.
That's strange.
She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here. Yup. Alright, go to this and go to the knife, please. Hold it right there! Why did the music not stop? That's correct. No! The sound clears. Okay, well. Ow. I'm not wrong! I'm not freaking wrong! Okay. Save. It's gonna be the tip of the knife that was found inside the victim's ass. Is it here? Is it this? Died for blood loss in under 10 minutes. Weapon found in wound was missing tip. I thought I had a piece of evidence that actually was the tip of the knife in like a little baggie. Do I not have that? I mean, it might just be this. But I don't know if there's any way to find out, I guess. Yep, it's the same thing, but just in a different tab. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? But I still remember it like it was just yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Right here, Your Honor. You can't see Neil's cock. Everyone knew he had a big dong. There. The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. Objection overruled.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. Yeah, this is what I was looking for.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Mama was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. Edgeworth, let me finish my point. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? I was getting to that before I was so rudely interrupted. Sorry. It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
What's the meaning of this?
What do you mean, objection? I'm right. Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Oh my god, you just keep screaming objection at each other. Just have a civil conversation. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, Wright. All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Ah! I thought you wanted to help me, Edgeworth.
Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
We know this already. It was admitted yesterday. Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. Now, this is it. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day, and these two fucking chumps were still standing outside at the time. Still, I can't believe no one has brought up this pot yet. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Drake along with Demon Gant. Demon Gant. Not even gonna crack that one. During his questioning, Joe Mama fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Drake, the rapper. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie. I'm not lying. That man really was holding up a broken knife. If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Drake's. Could there have been one? Yes. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by simple observational error. Yes, it can. Like, it's not going to be, but it can. Mr. Wright. Like, lightning strikes do not last long enough for you to see everything. In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife. Hand, right? Sorry, I just need to think about this one. Did my game crash, Your Honor? Nope, it looks like you're gonna bring your hammer down. Oh, thank you.
I assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife.
This is where I save, because I'm terrified that I'm gonna crash. This game hasn't crashed before. No, this game did crash before once. Yeah, it did crash once. So saving is not dangerous here, or is not unnecessary here.
And you have some the broken knife? If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon! Do I show the picture or do I show the shield? Because it's not on the shield. It better be this one, I swear to God. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture! This is a picture of the award ceremony. Achoo! Bless you, Edgeworth. Thank you, Phoenix.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I had to sneeze, Your Honor. It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award Prosecutor Marshall is holding. That's a broken knife! Actually, it's the tip of a halberd. As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Mama's knife. That being the case, The knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this award. Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Mama, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in a dangerous situation. What do you mean objection? I'm right. But that can't be! Is that your objection? Oh? Then why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would have been reversed! What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife. Oh god, the game keeps freezing! It must be such an intensive fucking title. Oh, it's a grey screen, I'm scared. Oh no! Don't do it to me. Okay, I'm gonna panic and stop recording. Please, 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 no! No! Don't do this to me, man. Don't do it to me. No, you can't! Please. Oh, okay. Whew. Oh my god! I got so scared. Okay, I'm gonna stop and start the recording anyway, just in case it fucks up at some other point. Because it crashes. If the game crashes, I'm pretty sure the recording just breaks. So, and we're back. Okay. That man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh! Phoenix, how dense are you?
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
It's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions. Thanks, Ema. Wait! I remember now. I remember everything!
Witness?
Mr. Edgeworth! What is it? Could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
I mean, you drew that, Ema. I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it. What? You drew that? That's right. The list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture. The music. All this time I've been trying so hard to forget. So what is this? Is this the window? I'm turning my head sideways to see what this could be. I don't know. Must have locked this part away deep inside me. Understandable.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony. Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor. First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger. This should be interesting.
Praise the Lord.
Louder. And when I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger! He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. Oh god. He's like a vigilante. The blue badger signal.
This is certainly most unusual.
Shut up, Edgeworth! Try impossible! The chief of detectives hasn't even designed him until... Hadn't even designed him until this year. Do you want to go over that one again, Edgeworth? Yes. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year! There you go. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop, please! Don't pursue this any further! Lana!
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime! Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Skye. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of this murder. This matter. Fuck. Murder. Eamon's recollection. I mean, we keep just getting more questions instead of more answers, so when are we going to figure this out? When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed towards both of them. Okay, no, I already read this. I didn't need to click forward. Up. No! Okay, press. When you say that man, I assume you refer to Joe Mama.
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports.
So then you...
Interesting. They didn't remove that one? They didn't falsify that one? Just wipe it from existence? Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Drake was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I gotta help out that other person. I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
What do you mean, you think? You've asked her that twice now.
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. When I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Skye was almost killed before she was a witness to a murder about to take place. Are you going to guilt trip me again, Edgeworth? Don't torture this poor little girl anymore. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person, who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I knew I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next?
Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger.
Are you sure about this?
Of course! See? I even drew a picture of him here.
What else could that be? Because it's sideways, right? But it was the chief of detective. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is this the blue badger? This only has 2 handles on it, right? No, it had 3, but it snapped off! I think we found it, boys. Maybe. Could have that. Or like this. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it right there. I mean, wait, let me go back and look at this again. All I can think of is today's. That's all that's coming to mind, but I'll continue with this. It was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department.
What? It's so slow. Oh my god.
I had this nagging
It's just loading the animation. Oh my god.
feeling that I'd seen him before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother. Just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion.
Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing?
Dancing?
He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face, with its winning smile and all? Phoenix.
That's right, but I still remember it. He had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken. That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did. Hold on, we're doing it again, Look. Phoenix, buddy. Phoenix, buddy. This is it. Wait. Oh, never mind. I actually don't know. No, it was this. Something like that. Ah, right there, baby. There you go. Okay, I figured it out. That's it. That's the angle. That's the money shot right there. All right. We got it, boys. We got it. And the cause of the thinking show, I did it. Oh? And I suppose you have an explanation? Actually, Edgeworth, believe it or not, if so, then by all means, please tell us what this shadow really was. What was it Ema saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger really? I know. The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Ema drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the defense's belief that on that fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger. Something that is now sitting in this very room!
Mr. Wright.
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us what the blue badger looked like. You okay, Your Honor?
Oh my god! Call an ambulance! There you go. Get fucked, Your Honor. This mysterious blue badger was in fact this!
But that's... What exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar.
Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. I'm sorry, I'm just imagining, as like they were talking, as Edgeworth was talking to Phoenix, he was just rotating the jar around his hands going, However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Does that, he just flash into your mind every single time? Alright, we go... okay, I'm going to use the actual HNBM. Whose idea was this? HNBM. Okay, we go... I think that's about right. But you have to get pixel perfect, imagine. Well, is this a miracle or what? Oh! Oh no! No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. Stop making it jump up. Oh god, the animation's so laggy. I need a new computer. Oh my god. It's just gonna be stuck on screen forever. No. It can't be!
Oh no! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witness on the day of the crime was actually this.
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything. I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything! Indeed. Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? The murder weapon. The location, the murderer. I mean, the murder weapon is the most obvious one. But I don't think it was actually the murder weapon. I just think he clonked someone over the head with it, but he didn't kill them. It's good. I'm gonna go with this though. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Nana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Drake and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room, at Chief Gaunt's office. No, it could have just been thrown. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body? From Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? You're not on the right track here, Phoenix. Yes, no. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Phoenix just has the miraculous ability to make up something that's obviously wrong and then have it be right somehow. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. There's no way they're going to make Eamon the murderer. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
No? Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more, maybe if the man and the wall and the jar were made out of fucking bouncy ball material, like they're just made out of rubber. I never looked at Phoenix's hand during this. Please do it again. It's like his arm does not move at all, and it just flops back and forth. Ugh. I can't believe you finally noticed that the jar was in that picture. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? Told you.
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. Uh-oh. Ema killed him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying the broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking... Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless... I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Ema Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Nice. Thank you for that. I hope I get to see that one again a few times. We all just had a collective flashback?
What the fuck was that?
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me?
No! She just got tased. Get her, boys! Never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony.
Nope. This is a lie. However, she did push him, but... Like, she did push him. This is the push. This is the hand that she pushed him with, which was fucking conveniently snipped off. But there is no way. Like, this is... The only reason this is being covered up, they're going to say that it was covered up because Ema killed him. But it's not. It's being covered up because Alana thinks Ema killed him and Gant killed him. Because why would the jar be in the air at the same time as this dude's being stabbed? It doesn't make any sense. It don't make a lick of science, partner.
And proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
What? What are you saying? I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances... Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Ema? How dare you try to pin the crime on her? Imagine that, coming from you. It's not even a crime, it was an accident, dumbasses. What kind of kangaroo court is this? Jesus Christ. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Ema did, wasn't it? Are you sure, you Mr. Edgeworth? I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall? Evidence? I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony. Every time. I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead. We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Scar. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim was left as a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. Oh, so he drew on the thing. Okay, I'm gonna take one more guess at what this says. I'm gonna say Gant then. It's got it. Oh my god, look, if you turn it upside down, it says Leon. Oh yeah, baby. That's exactly what that says. I'm telling you. Okay, wait, rotate. Oh god, I tried to do use WSD. Oh. That's your... Okay, no, it looks different here. That's your G, A, N, T. That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another. That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you.
Why me? I guess it's fair enough, but...
A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
Hold on, let me call up my psychic assistant who's probably dying under a waterfall right now. I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright, will you stop it? Nothing to prove my sister's a murderer. Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Ema of any crime. There is only one thing we seek, the truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Okay. Digga, 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 digga. Why didn't he just throw it away? This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Nope. Oh, yes. Okay, it is. You just showed the picture of the blue badger, which confused me. It's not the actual blue badger, Your Honor. Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? I wish. If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Looks more like Ema than anything. Gulp. No, it's gone. It's gone, guys. It says gone. It does not say Ema. There's no way this is an E, and then an M, and then an A. No, you're imagining things. This is a G, right? This is an A. This is an N. And there's a T over here that he didn't get to draw. Right? Oh no. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. It doesn't. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line here, drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is that these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left of him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points. Was the jar made out of sponge? What the fuck are you talking about? And the victim's message will become apparent. No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh, God. So do I... I'm sorry, but this is what the game wants me to do. Okay, I can't do that one, so I guess it's automatic. Plop. 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 What the fuck, Your Honor? I did it right. Oh, I had to... I'm sorry. I swear I don't have an intelligence or fucking IQ below 60. I swear. I'm just tired. I'm recording for 4 hours. Leave me alone. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. Then don't do it, Phoenix. I shouldn't have done this. I should have saved beforehand and tried to write down. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Ema, what if you turn it upside down? Have you tried turning it upside down? Maybe if you put it sideways. This could be... So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. It doesn't make any sense.
Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, one who took the victim's life
was Ema Sky. You see, the problem with this, Phoenix, is that you're not saving Lana. She's still fucked. Because this isn't the crime that they're fucking accusing her of. Oh, God. You're just screwing both of them all over. Their family legacy is just in ruin. It's got to give me another chance.
See, Worthy, can't say I didn't warn you.
Chief Gant.
Do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What? What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Mama was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in that case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death.
Nope, it's entirely your fault, Gant. Like, literally 100% your fault. It was in your safe.
Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Mama really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice?
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter, even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge.
No, I don't know about that one.
Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
Oh God, they're so loud this chapter. What's going on at the prosecutor's office? Oh, this is the... They might have sent an innocent man to his death!
How could he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Oops. Sorry, Emma. I didn't mean to convict you of murder. I mean, here's the thing. Like, that was all a waste of time. Even if, okay, by some miracle, Gant isn't the murderer, which he is, and Neil just wrote Emma's name just as like, yeah, you're the dumbass who got me killed on accident. Like, it doesn't matter. She didn't murder him. It was an accident. Oh, this is like what happened earlier. They were gonna convict someone else of murder for an accident. I'm sorry, I didn't know that would make a noise. Ow, that actually made me a little bit dizzy. What the fuck was that? Alright, well, it's the end of this video, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.